online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa and Mike Kluger.
And we're back for another segment. We first want to thank our sponsors. We got the New York Boulders baseball team, Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp, Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp in Hackensack, New Jersey for all your ice machine repairs. Plus, we got Kobe Sushi, Jazz tonight, Wednesday, mention Rockland's News, and get 15% off your entire order, minimum of $75. Whole Shop Bagels, located in Haverstraw, Susan Bova, 99 Signs, FZ Perfection Auto Body Repair, and Clean Space Maintenance and Management Company. Mike Kluger is out in the field right now, dropping off a whole bunch of flyers. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode. And as you know, I am a business owner, multiple businesses. I'm also an entrepreneur. So I really like to connect with local businesses, entrepreneurs, but more importantly, inventors. And we have for our second Come On Back to the Show episode with a friend of ours that I met about 6 months ago, Seth Brener from Brener Tools. He is the advocate and also the installer for the Fin Water Assistant, which helps people protect their homes from water damage. And it also brings in some nerdy technology that will help you to be able to control your water from anywhere. You could be like in Florida and you could basically use an app to just jack in and control any sort of emergencies that could potentially happen. And we're going to have Seth talk about it more. Seth, thank you for being on AM Rockland's News today. How you doing?
Thank you, Tom, for having me. I appreciate it. I'm doing great. A little under weather like you.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah.
Yes.
Got some coughs going.
Yes, of course.
I got to tell you, I'm not having the coughing fits, admittedly, but I think I did something to my voice this week where I'm starting to sound like Demi Moore.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Yes, yeah. So it's I think she still looks better than I do, but it's a struggle. So I hope you're not in any level of discomfort, sir.
No, so far so good. It's just the beginning stages, which is awful.
Very cool. Well, I hope you get well soon.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your company first, Brener Tools. So we did an interview, I guess, like about 6 months ago. You actually have several individual inventions. One leading up to the water system that I mentioned to you is called Smacked. And it's kind of like a tool that the contractors would use, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's more towards the commercial buildings, plumbers, electricians, fence guys, pool guys for installing pool lights or the fence for the fence post, electricians for their electrical box, and plumbers for floor drains, roof drains, and floor sinks.
Yeah.
It's to save time, money, and a better quality of core drilling and a cleaner job.
Excellent. Now you invented this yourself.
Correct. Yes.
Talked about this on a previous episode.
Yes.
You can learn more about it in person on the web at brennertools.com.
Correct.
But what was the motivation for creating this tool from scratch, I might add?
I was on a job many years ago, and the foreman asked me to chop out concrete to make room for the floor drain that we were installing. And I thought about something easier and faster. And I thought about the movie Alien, where the alien opens up the mouth and the other pair of teeth comes out.
Right.
And thought about maybe calling it the alien, but I probably that wasn't the smartest idea. So
hey, you never know.
Yeah, so last name is Breslaw, so I decided to just call it Brener and go from there. And years and years go by, and I needed something else to complement an invention, but I didn't invent it, and it's called Fin, and it's a leak detection system that is a peace of mind in people's and customers' houses.
Now, just to give you an idea, and you'll certainly speak on this a lot better than me, but it's basically a water assistant that allows a person to control the shutoff of their water system pretty much from anywhere.
That's correct.
So you get this basically installed in your pipes, like under the kitchen sink, under the bathroom sink, all sorts of locations where water piping is happening. And then if there's a leak somewhere, the water assistant is going to, from a technological standpoint, I'm guessing, detect a drop in water pressure.
Yeah, the leak detection it gets installed right after the customer's either PRV or water meter, or if they have well water, it'll just get installed once the water line comes into the house. We also sell pucks, these little hockey pucks that could go underneath a sink, dishwasher, most importantly by the water heater. And if that goes off, obviously it means you have water by those pucks. It will relay a message to the fin and automatically shut off. Or you can shut it off through your phone if you're awake and you see something pop up, a notification, shut it off. Especially if you're at work, it helps because then you're not going to have a flood at home.
Yes, exactly. And when we first interviewed about 6 months ago, and this is
This is
about, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just coughing.
Okay, all right, no problem. And again, I'm dealing with like the voice thing too, so I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So in adding this to your lineup, what did you find? Because you do contracting as well. So
Yes.
what was that moment, for instance, like you had with the previous tool that we mentioned? What was the moment where you realized, you know what? I think that I need to find a really good system that will help my clients. What happened when that happened?
I was just finding that it wasn't a big sell. And as you know, as a business owner, struggling to sell a product that customers, the contractors either want or don't want, and it wasn't a huge sell. So I needed to pivot my company and decided that I'm going to look up a leak detection company, a leak detection system, and found one on the West Coast. They weren't really big on the East Coast yet. And I'm on their website. If customers go on there and they'll see me as one of the people. And I'm also getting warranty work from Assurian.
Okay,
So that's where I had to pivot and build my brand to a better and bigger company.
got it. Okay.
Okay.
Over the course of time, and how long have you been in business?
Since 2015.
Okay. Wow, that's actually the exact year that we started those music festivals that I told you about.
Yes, yes,
So, I think I mentioned that, we do Stony Music Fest for 10 years, and then we moved it over to the Stadium Rockland Music Fest.
yes.
And, 2015 was
Was this
when we
when we
basically decided that we were going to go ahead and do that. Um, so yeah, so you've been doing, I mean, at least 11 years, almost 12 years now. And what do you find from your customers? Do you find that they appreciate the installation that you're doing to help them to save water? How does that whole process go?
They love it. They love that they can go on vacation, they could go out for dinners, they could leave their house and have a secondary house, let's say on the Jersey Shore, go down there knowing that their house is safe up here and they won't have any problems and it's a peace of mind. They love the installation process. It's not a long process. It's anywhere from less than 2 hours for an install. Some are a lot easier, some are a lot harder depending on how much material has to be used.
Does it connect with, like, for instance, like a plumber or someone that could help? Like, if there's a leak that happens, or is it able to contact the plumber, or did they do that manually still?
They do that manually still. they'll get an alert on their phone that they have a leak and they can shut it off. They might determine where the leak is from, and then they can call their either me or their local plumber and fix the leak themselves.
Yeah. There's something that I can definitely relate to is like, especially during the cold weather, how if you don't, I mean, I don't know if this is still the case, but you keep the faucet just a tiny bit ajar so that the water can drip. Um,
Yes, the beauty of this product. So it takes 2 to 4 weeks to learn the patterns of the family that's living in a house.
mhm.
It will tell you how many gallons you use in a month. So I had a customer, they got a bill from their water company and it was a lot more than what the app had told them. And they actually gave them credit towards their next month.
Nice. Okay.
The other additive you had just mentioned about frozen pipes, it tells you the temperature of your pipe in your house. So normality is 63 degrees in of water in the house. If it gets down to 30, 20, you know you're going to have a problem. Yes, turn your faucet on just a little bit and let the water flow. And this way you won't have any frozen pipes. But it will also tell you that your pipes are going to freeze in 10 minutes. So then you could also be warned to also turn your faucet on a little bit.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing that I think every homeowner can relate to, because when cold weather comes, pipes burst, and there's a whole bunch of plumbing bills. I can
Yep.
personally relate to this. So it's definitely something where, a little bit of investment, and I'm not paid to say that, for full disclosure on that, not paid to say it, but I do believe in this product.
Yes.
It's a system, and I find that you mentioned it's only 2 hours to install, so I do consider this useful. What's the if I may ask, what is the price point for the fin system?
It's anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500, depending on how much piping has to be used on the run and for the install. Um, uh, 12 to $1,500 may sound like a lot of money, but if you have a flood in your house and you call your insurance company, they'll send you a big fat check if there's anything. Then you got to call your local contractor. They got to fix everything in your house. Call a mold guy so he can clean up all the water. You got to call your electrician maybe to install new outlets in the house. It's a trickle effect. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to be home, especially when they have to be at work.
Hmm. On average, from your experiences, how many emergency situations occur with water pipes bursting? Let's say in a 100-mile radius, or from your experiences, what's the average? Like, how many burst pipe appointments do you go on?
It depends. It depends on the weather, especially the weather we had this past winter. It was awful. I think I went on 20 or 30 calls this past
Whoa.
winter.
Oh my goodness. I would imagine that you're, bless you. I would
Thank
imagine
you.
that you're recommending the product so that that doesn't happen again.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I'm in a networking group, the business network, and we hand out referrals all over the place. And we are doing a lot of work within the business and within the network, and it's just been great just being in it and getting more work and being out there.
I was actually at that meeting last night, the TBN. It was
Yes.
over at what's the name?
River
River
Court,
Court.
River
Yeah,
Court, New City. Yes.
I was there last night with a colleague. His name is John. I think you both
Yes.
know him. We
Yes.
were over there, and it was really cool. I think it's like about 30 people, and
Yes.
the food there is off the charts. The one thing that
Yes.
I have to say is that I am never going to have onions at night ever again. I'll leave
Yes.
it at
Yes. And it's just a great group of people and young and energetic and just fun to be with.
that. Vibrant, yeah,
Yeah,
vibrant. So
no stress, no anxiety. It's just very down to earth friends like family.
over the course of your travels, where do you think that your best market is for putting the word out about this product? Obviously, colleagues in the industry, plumbers, and just the contracting field.
Yes.
But where do you find that your best leads and referrals come from thus far?
The networking group, anybody in the group that's in houses that I get referrals from, you, for instance, just putting this out there, and hopefully someone is listening that they might want to install one in their house.
Yeah,
It's any referral, friends, family. It can go anywhere.
yeah.
That's the beauty of this product. It's not something that people want. People should need this in their house.
What about, and I'm actually, it's funny because right now I'm going through my Rolodex that I have running in my brain pretty much 24/7 whenever I'm awake. And I'm thinking about this residential housing complex that's going to be in Haverstraw. It's a 450 unit residential housing complex, and it hasn't even been created yet. It's going to
Right.
take 3 years in order to build. Is that perhaps a good referral that perhaps I could connect you? Because I happen to know the developer. His name is Ryan.
Yes.
We did an interview with him on Rockland's News. Is that a good person to know?
It's a great person to know.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's condos, it's landlords for apartments, it's homeowners, it's anybody that lives in a house or any development that has a water meter or well water or anything come in the house. It can get installed and save a family or individual water from damaging in their apartment or house or condo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me get you in touch with the gentleman.
Perfect.
Only spoke with him once, but I'm more than happy to make that connection because I really, really do believe in this product. And again, as a person that, homeowner, it's basically it's something that can really, first of all, I call myself a tree hugging conservative. And it's conserving, just natural resources as well, in that we want to make sure that we're not wasting anything. So, not wasting water, but also
No.
not wasting money, gosh darn it, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
if the pipe blows, so does your wallet.
Correct. Correct. Without a doubt. Without
Yeah.
a doubt. And people are not realizing that, but eventually they will. They could. One thing I forgot to mention, that whichever home insurance they have, they can call their home insurance and see if there is a residual back if they do install the fin product or any like the leak detection product.
Yeah, absolutely. And the website is brennertools.com. That's Brener tools.com. Can we give your phone number over the air?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's 917-846-2095. Seth, this was great. I'm really glad that you hopped on and talked about the thing that I personally think is going to help a lot of homeowners out there, man.
I appreciate the call, and I appreciate you asking me to be on. It's been great.
You got it. Seth Breslaw from Brener Tools, thank you for being on Rockland's News. And we appreciate all of you that have tuned in to the AM Rockland's News podcast, especially on this fantastic day. It is Wednesday, March 25th. And right now, the skies are sunny, and hopefully it'll be like that for quite some time. We want to thank our advertisers and sponsors for Rockland's News. First of all, let me just bring up the list. One moment, please. And here we go. We got the New York Boulders baseball team, Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming at April. You can learn more at worksmartny.com. Yabu Fence Company located in West Nyack, New York. Dana Pest Control for all your pest control needs. Easy Temp Hackensack, New Jersey. Ice Machine Repair. Kobe Sushi with their Jazz Music Lounge. We're going to be there tonight, Wednesday at 6 o'clock to listen to some jazz, and we'll catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good rest of the day.